Welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. Well, today is Father's Day, so I want to say Happy Father's Day to all of the great fathers everywhere. And we have some fantastic fathers. And I just want you to know that you're appreciated. I was going to talk about Juneteenth tonight. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, but we've had some things going on. I was going to talk about Juneteenth tonight. Quieten this. We have some things going on in the YouTube world. Salute, Maria Longhead. Hey, nephew. Salute, Trinity T. We've had some things going on in the YouTube world just recently that's very disturbing to me. And I can't just get on here and salute Allison Cooper, FRW. I can't just get on here tonight and pretend that I don't see what's going on. And, I've spoken about things that's going on, but I'm a person that I don't get into other people's business. But when we're being accused of being nefarious gang members with criminal activity, to me, that's concerning. Number one, I'm an officer of the court for the U.S. Department of Treasury. And although I'm retired, I still have a code of conduct in which I must live by, which I live by a code of conduct that my mom and my dad taught me. So I don't give a damn if I never worked for this thing called the government. I have integrity and honor just because I was taught that by my parents. Coming onto YouTube was something that I, was a little apprehensive about, but I really wanted to do it because I just really wanted to share my journey with everybody, and everybody think I'm funny. So I thought maybe if I came out here, it would just be great. I didn't know anything about beefs and wars and all that kind of stuff, and I really don't care to know about it. So when I found myself in the middle of two guys who meshed very well together and we all were very cohesive, I was very excited about it. And I felt good about what I was doing. And then when the division came, I decided to just go silent and didn't say anything either way. But as the days went by and you would see people get on people's panels and they would defend one person without telling the whole story, that began to bother me, and I could not continue to hear that. So I got on a panel and I, made several comments, and I just called it like I saw it. It was two people that was guilty of wrongdoing and not one. And then I became a target. I haven't been a target thus far of doxing, as they called it. I didn't know what doxing meant, but let me just say some salutes to some people, and then let me finish what I'm saying, because I'm very saddened about what's going on. M. Mac, hello, darling. Glad you're here. And to all you men, if you're fathers, I salute you with all honor. Ernest, salute. I'm glad you're here. Tanya, salute. I'm glad you're here. And Monique, thank you for being here. We all see each other in different ones' chats, so we all kind of feel like we have, well, I thought that we felt like we had some type of camaraderie. I'm kind of partial to Southern Gotti because our connection, and she made my intros and outros. Gotti is really very calm spirit, and our energies connected through the computer. We don't know each other, in person. We just know that we have a connection, as I do with several of you. Longhead, M. Mac, Maria S. Just seeing each other and greeting each other makes us fond of each other, and we look forward to doing that with one another. One of the things, famous quote says that, and they say it a lot of different ways, but they said that all that is required for evil to triumph. It's for good men to do nothing. And we all say this is just YouTube, and it is YouTube. But when people get off YouTube and go through your social media and start posting it on YouTube, and you've done nothing to these people, it's disheartening. When they attack your family and your family is not on YouTube, it's disheartening. And it's not necessarily illegal for them to do the things they're doing, but it can lead to illegal behavior. And what gets me about all of this is the people that's attacking people. Salute Carolyn, salute Wilma. The people that are attacking people were not attacked directly, and they're doing it on behalf of someone else. And the person that they're doing it on behalf of says, of course, they're not tied to the people, but they have never once got on social media, on YouTube, and denounced the behavior of the people that say that they're acting in this person's behalf. And that is sad. To see an individual get on a platform and make a statement that someone is something, whether they know it or not, you're talking about an incident and you bring up their sexuality, that's disheartening. And if that person want to rebut that with the fact about, because every time you say something about this person, the rebuttal always comes back, Mr. Skinny. But Mr. Skinny accused that person and said that he had the proof and showed it. And all that person had to do is to deny it like they did, or show the proof that it doesn't exist. So it's very disheartening to hear a man who we thought of as a professional human being and at one time had celebrity status, today be reduced down to a troll on the internet and talking about people in all manner of sizes, ages, looks. It's very disheartening. And I don't knock anybody who say that they support this type of behavior. You know, you have the right to support whatever you like. But what we must understand is with this type of behavior and with so many different people out here and we don't know each other, you don't know what that could trigger in another human being and could make someone come after someone that they know nothing about. But in their mind, they're avenging somebody's honor. You know, that's why I love the karate movies. But with the karate movies, they were avenging the honor of their father. You know, it was a reputation of the people, not a person. Salute Tanae. Glad you're here. Ms. Believe. Glad you're here. And I need you guys to give me some input on this subject that I'm speaking, because what happened to Sultan Gotti is really how you say it, but we all say Southern Gotti. What happened to her is really painful for her and her children. And everybody seems to take it as a joke, as if it's funny. Not necessarily what happened to her is funny, but the fact that it happened. And I guess my daddy got a saying that he told us, rarely do you catch a nigga complaining when it's in their favor. You know, but Gotti never made statements. Anybody knows her in any chat, she's pretty much going to just say she's sitting back watching and she'll have some eyes. And she might do a laugh or a laughing my ass off, you know, but she doesn't make statements about people. And she's never, ever put anybody's name that I've seen in a chat. Perhaps she has, and I didn't see it. But you think that with the accusations that these people hurl against you, they would have tangible proof and would show the proof. And that doesn't happen in cases on here. Other people have been accused of many things. And of course, they're fighting for their rights to have their channel. I don't post other people. I don't really talk about other people. I like talking about myself, really. But I see this as a problem because I've had more searches. And I seen where they went and got Brown Skin's Lady Facebook page and posted it on a community wall. And so I can see this happening to not only them, but to myself. But, you know, I'm a proactive person. So I already have my affidavit ready to file with my county clerk to let them know that this type of behavior is beginning to take place and that I'm going to be dealing with it accordingly. I don't fight like other people, and I really choose not to fight, but I'm all I have, and I have to protect me at all costs. I have one son by birth and a daughter by blood, and y'all know that's my great niece that I reared from the hospital. But, these people are playing dangerous games, and it's really disheartening when nobody has done anything but spoke an opinion of one person who loves to get on here and say everybody talks about one man. Well, just look at how they talked about Dr. Umar Johnson. He never addresses it. And they said some deplorable things about him. They went after his license. They went after everything they could. Dr. Umar stays on his message. Kevin Samuels, before he passed, they talked about him like a dog, but he stayed on his message. So if you choose to stay on your message, what these people say will go away. But as long as we keep feeding into it, it's going to continue and it's going to get worse. And everybody say they're protecting the Black woman. Number one, I don't know who the Black woman is because Black is civilly dead in the eyes of the law. And we're treated like children by the European because we act like children. We need to start acting like adults and taking responsibility for our actions and for the things that we let come out of our mouth or that we type on these computers. I don't get many people in here, and I lose people every day. One day I was up to 1281. Now I'm down to 1275. I can't do anything about that, nor would I want to. I'm going to keep telling this truth that I have in me for as long as I can tell it. But I can't sit by and act like, he shouldn't have done that. That's just so funny. I'm not saying that we need to go and grab the torch as vigilantes and go whoop his ass. No, that's not what I'm saying. We don't do that. There are other ways to handle things. But we must take responsibility for the things that are going on. Why? For some likes and views? It makes no sense. Salute, Cookie. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I love them Geminis. I really do. Salute, Abby A. I didn't see you come in. And let me see what M. Max said. The past couple of days was the first time that I've heard about the book, but one of the parties involved sounds like they're on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And you're so true, but I'll tell you, one of the parties, though, when she was on Mr. Skinny's panel, she was a different person. She sounded like she was a warrior. She was cussing out Gotti something terrible. And all of this started, from what I understand, a year ago in the Rift room. I never joined the Rift. So, I didn't want to be a part of that. I think the best thing that I heard Lonnie One Love say was that they bring stuff off of YouTube and bring it to YouTube. And then herein lies a problem. But this person, she came about, I've noticed her in Amando's chat is where I first, noticed her. And, I don't know nothing about people. So we all just speak like we always do. We salute each other. We're happy to hear from each other. We're glad to see each other. We listen to the story. We move on. But she say little things subtly in the chat with Gotti. And so Gotti just asked her to take the link, on Mr. Skinny as a neutral place. She could have felt like she was being bombarded. I don't know. I don't know where, because it was she and Gotti, and then the other lady came up, Kiana, I think it was. And so perhaps she didn't want to hear her. But Mr. Skinny said he brought her up for a moderator. Whatever the case may be, it should not be to today where we have a mother distraught with her children who has a very calm energy and demeanor, and she helps other people with a lot of things on YouTube. She's helped me tremendously learn how to do a little editing and stuff like that. For this to go to where we would have a man who called himself a professional to get on and just blatantly say this woman was a lesbian. I just think that's disheartening. No matter what she is, that's none of our business. And we don't get on here thinking about people's sexuality. I don't know where that came from. It had nothing to do with the conversation. They were talking about this book, and the book does exist. The lady said that her friend was being disparaged. How is she being disparaged? Because if everybody's talking about her book, you would think maybe that would be marketing and maybe the book would sell because people would be interested in reading the book. I don't know. But nothing should be that we have to endure people disparaging our character, calling us out of our names. You know, nobody has to say that he's a man. And I think that they always talking about distractions and deflections. This is all distractions and deflections because Mrs. Skinny out and out showed text. That was between two people. Everything that has happened has been between two people, and we've divided a whole nation of people. I'm going to call it the nation of YouTube. And we've divided a whole nation of people. For what? We have nothing to do with this, but yet we're fascinated. You know, I'm talking about who we are as a people and how we need to deal with a system that's trying to kill us. And we're on here running to some bullshit where somebody really may come up dead. And that's sad. I'm not saying don't laugh because shit, I'm going to see Mr. Skinny. I'm going to see Uncle Suge. I'm going to do that and I'm going to laugh and I'm going to have fun. But, you know, I started out looking at scholars and trying to figure this thing out. Why do everybody hate us as a people? And why do we hate ourselves? Why do we mistreat each other in the name of we're protecting Black women? How are we protecting Black women? Again, I don't know what Black is because in the eyes of the law, it's dead. So maybe that's it. We want to kill them too. The things I see people doing. And, you know, if you mention a person's name, then you get attacked. Everybody wants to defend this person. And they can do that somewhere else. But I don't want that. And I don't play that. And you can't do that with me. Because everybody is going to have to give an account for their own actions. Every man, every woman, every child are going to have to confess their own. But I go back to my quote. All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. We all say how bad it is and how terrible it is. And then they say, well, what would you do? You can't whoop their ass. No, I wouldn't ask you to whoop their ass. But YouTube got somebody that we got to answer to. Google has somebody we got to answer to. And I do things just like they do in writing. This is unacceptable. And these people are not sitting here monitoring us destroy each other. Matter of fact, if they were, they would probably be happy about it. But we all say we love one another and power and we're together and we want to take care of one another. But do we really? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I see they haphazardly mention what's going on, but I find that most of us, if it's not me, shit, then I ain't gonna do nothing about it because I ain't in it. But it's not you today. It's not you today. You can't say it's not going to be you. And then the lady that they call Queen Regina, she had out there that she was looking for a brown-skinned lady's real name. And once she found it, she was going to call her job to see if they know how she's acting on YouTube, as if we don't have a First Amendment right to speak. And so I guess she found it because on the community wall, they have her posted on the community wall and her name. And although they have something typed over her first name, you can see it. and they have her last name. This is really getting to be scary. And whether we leave YouTube or not today, they can still carry out this type of behavior unless it is brought to someone's attention. And it is, Cookie, very low vibrations and very low energies. And we that have a higher vibration and higher energy should just take responsibility if it's for nothing but yourself. Because I don't know if you all noticed, but they're putting rappers away because of lyrics to their songs and to post on their Instagrams, Facebooks, and YouTubes. They're actually putting people in prison for that. And these people keep hollering, Rico, Rico, Rico. Now, I don't know who in the hell would believe, because we say, Mr. Skinny say gang gang, that we are the goddamn Crips, the Bloods, the gangster disciples, the vice lords. I don't know who would believe that, but with conspiracy, you don't have to believe that. All you have to do is have the accusation. Salute, Mimi. I love you. Always. Always. Unfortunately, my Cash App doesn't ring that much. But I'm glad y'all here. I ask you, if you would, hit the like button. Share it with someone if you would. Discuss it. Make comments so we can have a conversation. That's harassment. Wilma said that's harassment. And it comes with consequences like real jail time. You're right about it, Wilma, because I've been doing some research. Because I know how Gotti has been affected by what's going on. And it's really hit her daughters hard. And I know that this man will say, well, they said it about me, but Gotti didn't say that about him on no YouTube and nowhere else. Mr. Skinny said that. And Mr. Skinny only said that he sent him those texts. Then he started calling them the other names. But he said he sent him the text and show your text. But he was offered $100,000 to show the text. He just blatantly came out on somebody else's panel and said this man, this woman, dipped in the lady pool like him. Salute, my niece. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. That's A Powers, my niece. I got to do it again. We're not even having fun no more. I don't give a damn what nobody say. For me, it's not even as fun as it was. We used to have so much damn fun and laughing and talking about, shit in a joking manner. But the fun is damn near gone. M. Max said exactly. Once they threaten, attack, or dox one person in the chat or a constituent within this sector, everyone should feel threatened. And that is true. And the only way you can stop the behavior is everybody take the necessary steps. Perhaps that ain't nothing you do. Well, maybe it's time you start. One of the biggest problems we have is that we don't support one another. We say we do, but we really don't. And it doesn't take a lot to protect yourself from this type of behavior. This is the same thing we said we was fighting the Europeans for. The right to be free. The right to speak freely. The right to go to any restaurant we wanted to. The right to sit at a table in a restaurant. These are the things that we said that we were fighting for us to have a right to have our own place to live, no matter where that place is, to work. We go to school and all we get is big bills. Salute Straight Talk. I'm glad you're here. And I love you for the things you were saying today on behalf of Southern Gotti. I do, because you were speaking up. S. Reed, I love you. It's good to see you. I ain't seen you in a long time. I hope all is well. I haven't looked at my videos, but you know I'm catching up. Milwaukee Jeff, you know I love you. And again, fathers, happy Father's Day. I'm just brokenhearted. I really was going to get on here and talk some, Asiatic shit and, who we are as a people and what we need to be doing for ourselves, and what we need to teach our children. But how can we say that we have children, we love them, and we allow this kind of behavior to go on amongst us, and we're all being bullied in a sense? We're all being bullied. We all can't say shit. Some of us want to go in some people's chat, but we're scared to say something because we're going to be attacked. Or you have to think twice about what you say because they screenshot shit and then somebody go and make a video about it. And then you become the brunt of the joke. Okay, we're big people. And we said that we was in for that when we came here, but we had no idea, if you're like me. Some of you guys have been here a long time and y'all know what this shit is like. I don't. I had no clue this kind of stuff was going on. Just because two people had a difference, it becomes everybody's fight. And then they keep saying the same thing. See, if you listen to what this person is saying, you will hear the media training that he speaks that everybody has. You will hear that. He's trained to do that. This lady that's running around threatening everybody. Thank you, Tanya. Let me put some respect on it. And when I say I love you, I mean I love you with all the humanness that you have and I have inside of me. See, I'm a person, I love you. And I tell my beloved son, my daughter, and anybody that I know personally, it ain't nothing in the world once you encounter me. And that's all of y'all here, that we always speak and communicate. It's nothing in the world you can do to make me stop loving you. Now, there is something you can do to make me stop fucking with you. Because I can love you to life and never fuck with you again. That can happen. But I truly, when I speak the word, I love you. And the only thing that'll show me different about you as an individual is you. I don't take people's word. I don't jump with no game. I don't do no slang. I don't bang. I don't do none of that shit. But I did grow up in the hood. I grew up in the projects. So I do understand the lingo. But I'm not a part of none of that shit. Never have been. Let me see what my niece said. Salute, Toothless Tiger. Y'all, my eyes and this damn computer. I got to give me some new glasses. So I'll be going through some shit. Just bear with me. Salute, Toothless Tiger. Salute, chat. Thank you all so much for all the love. Yes, thoughts and prayers. And that's what you get from us. I'm going back in the bushes. Love you much. Hugs. Yes. I know you just came back. Let me see. Sebastian said something. I wanted to ask you about proclaiming and declaring our nationality. Sebastian, now that's really good because it's been some shit going down about that, and I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on it, okay? Let me just pay some respects to some people, and then I'll tell you what I think. Salute, Cam T. Glad you're here. Retro 813, glad you're here. Too cool. Love you, love you. Salute. Monique. Gravitate to people with souls, not evil people. I see a lot of people in different chats, yet the YouTube shit is going to have ass beat, period. Monique, you know you about right. And it just ought not be. It ought not be. And Cookie, you're right. You can feel it. S. Reed, Yep, I leave you alone too. Ethnic disown the families quite regularly for less. Sad to say, that's why the group is appealing at times. I feel you, and I know that you probably say that's why they're appalling at times. And that's so true. Again, everybody, happy Father's Day. Oh, Cookie, that's that's so sweet. Okay, so let me just ask you what I think about the nationality, because that's the kind of thing that what I share with people. I learned, from Taj Tariq Bey, and basically, Taj. I've been looking at him now for about 9 years now, and so what he would say back when I first started, looking at him, he was talking about declaring our nationality because that's one of the things Noble Drew Ali told us to do. Out of all the things you do, declare your nationality. But he never would tell you how to do that. And one of the reasons he wouldn't tell you is because one thing about the European, the ones that are in the position, I'm not talking about everyday people like we know. Some of them know, most of them don't. But some of them have parents that are in these organizations, and so they know some things, and so they learn truth. But he would always tell you you would have to study so that you can learn, because it's just like when the immigrants come across from the water, when they have to take the test to become a citizen. Well, it's certain questions and certain venues you would find yourself in, they would ask you, and if you don't answer correctly, then they would know that you don't know what you're talking about, and you would go back under their jurisdiction. So I never really quite figured it out. I was getting pretty close to it, but I'm telling you, I think the time has come. Todd used to tell us that the time is going to come when some of the things we're telling you to do now, you won't be doing in the future. And so that could be one of the things that's not going to be important anymore. See, what we don't understand is, and I'm telling y'all, when you start listening to the different scholars, some of this shit sounds so far-fetched, you would think that you were going crazy. But in all honesty, you're not. It's just that we only know what we've been told. And we have has been told to us. I say a fourth of the truth have been told to us. They stole our birthright and switched places with us. So there are so many things that we don't know. And there is so much we need to learn. And we have to learn it in stages. But we're so caught up in the minutia till we don't really see what's happening around us. But the structures that are in place are crumbling. One of the reasons Todd used to tell us that, in 1933, I think it was Roosevelt who made the deal with, and y'all can look it up to find out who the real person was, because I may have the name incorrect. And so I can fuck up some names and I can get a story wrong. Me and Madia could be sisters on that. Salute, so I'll be. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Let me put some respect on that. Let me welcome Flip Phone. I'm glad you're here. Jay Watson, glad you're here. Anonymous Wish, always glad you're here. Thank you for dropping by to show your love. We love you too. Okay, S. Reed said that's what folks told me. Code words. I think it should be taught. I was kind of pissed at folks who knew who knows stuff. Yeah, it does make you a little pissed. Hey, Ra, glad you're here. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so back to what I was telling you guys about us as a people. So one of the things that Taj told us that the time was going to come when some of the things we're teaching you now is not going to be important later. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever, salute Brian Black. Glad you're here. I love you guys. Thank y'all for the support. I don't know if you all have ever looked at Minister Ray Hagan, but Minister Ray Hagan is, he's a Pan-African minister now. He used to be a Pentecostal minister. And now that he woke up and started learning the truth, then he became a Pan-African minister. And one of the things he did one time, he had a show, and he was telling us that you have to do a memorandum of understanding for yourself. And in that memorandum of understanding, you tell what family you come from, and then whatever you've learned about, your customs and your culture, you write it out in your own words as this is what you understand. And then what you would do is you notarize it yourself, or you can get it notarized. Now, I don't know if you all know that you can self-notarize with the, I have a red pad, and you use your right thumbprint. And whenever you notarize it, then you would make sure that that red thumbprint touches your signature. That's self-notarizing. Now, I am not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. I am telling you something that you can look up and read for yourself. I don't practice law, because one of the things that the European really don't want us to know is law. And that's why I ask everybody to please send me an email. I'll send them the Black's Law Dictionary along with the book Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, so you can start understanding how they use words against us. A lot of people don't understand that spelling actually means spells. And a lot of this we curse ourselves because we don't understand what we're saying. And it's just like, okay, if you say hello. Now, hell is where they said you're going to go if you don't believe in Jesus. So why would you hell? Oh, I mean, it makes no sense when we don't think of it like that. But, it's just some little simple things that they use to scare us. It's just kind of like what's happening here on this YouTube that I was talking about. It's fear. It's scare tactics. And they got all of us under the umbrella of, I'm doing this to them. It could be you next. Where it really could be you next, or you could be one participating in the activity. But their time is up, and the systems are crumbling. The nationality, you make a public declaration of who you are. You make a public declaration, and that's why I did that. And I do that by your bloodline. Now, some of the scholars argue the bloodline. But if the oldest bones was from a Moabite woman, then we're Moabites. They called us Moors when we fell in 1492. So we have to rise as who we were when we fell, and that are Moors. Not the organization. The organization was put in place because that's the only way the knowledge could be taught. So it's nothing against the organization, but they had an infiltration just like what's going on here on YouTube. And back then it was called COINTELPRO, and it was by a man who said that he was a European, but actually he was one of us. He was passing. His name was J. Edgar Hoover, and he was very hard on his people. So when you start learning, most of these people that we thought were European that had power, they were not. But they are part of a system that keeps us in servitude. And it's kind of like the system that went on after we supposedly obtained civil rights. We had Jesse Jackson and the Martin Luther Kings, and they were very eloquent, charismatic speakers. But they too taught us to be subservient and to just go along to get along. Do as they say. And we do everything they say, and we still got water hose down. We got beautiful canine dogs sicked on us. And all we were doing was standing for the right to be human. We just wanted to be human and to be treated that way. But we're still fighting for those same rights today. But there is a right for the indigenous people. It is an act that Barack Obama signed into law. You can look this up, not only on Google, because a lot of people say don't trust Google. Well, I say Google. And then you can even go to the Library of Congress online. You don't even have to leave your home. You can just ask the librarian a question. If you want a document, you can ask the librarian for a copy of a document, and the librarian will send it to you. But as far as the nationality go, I always had a problem with them wanting to charge money. Yes, the trick of the words, military tactics. Everything they do to us is military tactics because we're under military occupation. You know, a lot of people don't know, but Congress is actually the military congressional complex. So they just dropped the military, and all we know is the congressional complex. And what did they say about us? If you don't want us to know something, put it in a book. Put it in a book. And I guarantee you, we're not going to know it. We're not, because most of us don't want to read. And today we don't have to read. They have books on audio. We could listen to the books. But most of us, I don't want to hear that shit. That's too much for me. Sebastian says, Noble Drew Ali isn't discussed in schools. No, they won't discuss it in schools. When you go back to 1902, and I've read it several times, the Board of Education, it was established by John D. Rockefeller and Frederick T. Gates, which is the father of Bill Gates. And what they said was that they were going to teach us to be comfortable right where we are. They wasn't going to try to get no doctors, lawyers, musicians, carpenters, anything of value. They were not going to try to get artists. They were not going to try to get any of that out of us. They was going to just teach us to be happy, not knowing nothing. And that's where we are. And some of us think just because we go and get an alphabet behind our name that we have arrived. But, you know, with me, if they don't teach you finance, and they don't, if they don't teach you jurisprudence, the science of law, if they don't teach you economics, finance, law, world history, not just our history, because our history is a mystery and history is his story. Everything that relates to us as a people, they make it mysterious. It's spooky. And then they tell us our story, but they become us. And so we believe that it's true. But all it takes to break down a generation of people is about, 20, 40 years? And you separate them from each other? But see, some of the people kept the native language. Some of the people kept some of the traditions. Some of the people passed it on. And some of the people today know it and they want to share it. But we're so caught up. And a lot of people say the matrix. A lot of people don't understand that matrix means womb, the mother's womb. So we're caught up in a false matrix, not the matrix. It's a false matrix. Anonymous says, the organization of words, the origin of the word grammar is grammar. And I don't know if I said that right. No, that would be grimoire, French for book of spells and incantations. Yes, and it goes back to the etymology. And then, we have morphology, how they formulate the words, and phonology. We didn't learn any of that in our English classes. And if any of y'all learned any of those three things I just said, etymology, phonology, and morphology, please let me know in the chat if y'all did. The way they play on words, and especially with our language, the English language that they call the Queen's language, our language. You see, our people were so great that they even gave them the language and put codes in it so that we would know it. And when they discovered that, then they codified it themselves. But everything is a game, just like the board game Monopoly, just like the board game Life. We think they playing, but that's real. And we don't know that. We don't have a reason to know it, because why? They keep us working so hard. They keep us working so hard, and then everybody say that they care about this woman. What woman do you care about when everybody is bullying everybody and nobody is saying anything? And I'm not saying say something to somebody to go back and forth with them, because everybody are adults. But we have to learn the order of business. And the order of business is, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. And we got to start making complaints. And I'm not talking about flagging nobody's page, because I don't know nothing about flagging. I don't know anything about that. I'm not into that, and I'm not interested in that. But everybody has a corporate office, and everybody care about their bottom line. Everybody. I don't care how big the corporation. If you cry loud enough, they will hear you. Not necessarily because of who we are. There is some code, like they say, the code among thieves. There is some code that this establishment stands by. And I haven't figured that out either. But there is one. And it works if you work it. But you have to work it, because you're worth it. Again, all of us are susceptible to be the next target. And I don't care how you came up with your name. These people are doing some real dastardly stuff that's so very uncalled for. And it's disheartening. And that people would get on, platforms and haphazardly mention it and laugh and keep going to the next piece of drama. That's what bothers me as a mother, a woman, a human. It bothers me. Let me see. Yeah, that's true, Flip Phone. They're not lying. A lot of us don't. More of us are. And Chase is stopping by to give some love. Thank you so much, so much. He's entertaining guests, but I sure thank you for stopping by to see me. I appreciate that. Happy Father's Day. I want us so desperately to be, see, I'm going to tell you, one of the things that get us is organization. And that's why they came up with that RICO. But they're talking about racketeering. We're not talking about that. But anytime we organize as a people, see, they don't give a damn about us being crazy and acting stupid and calling each other out our names and, fighting each other and killing each other and belittling each other. It's when we organize and we come together. And the way I say do that is not come together as a group. Because if you come together as a group, there's a possibility that somebody can be bought. I say organize like the army. Be an army of one. Start with your family. Start with your children. Teach them truth. Teach them to read. Teach them to use the dictionary. Give them an assignment every day. They don't have to necessarily memorize the words, but they need to know where to find words. And then they need to know what words mean. Anonymous is very, very, very analytical. And she's going to put you on to some shit that you ain't never thought about. Trust me. But instead of us all, salute, Milwaukee. I love you. You know, I got to put some respect on it. Night interviews. King Kush, your knowledge about the marijuana and the hemp and the CBD, your knowledge is so invaluable. I mean, what you were saying was so deep and should have just made my heart proud to hear you when you was breaking it down. You know, I don't know how I feel about everybody smoking marijuana or whatever, but then that ain't got shit to do with me. That's what's going on in the world and it's happening. But the way you broke it down and the way you was telling us to grow something, I would just like if, you know, you would hit me up in my email. It's Toothless Tiger 7@gmail.com. I would love to interview you and for you to share what you can or what you want, because you were spitting so much knowledge that it just made my heart feel good. And see, so many ways. And that's what's so sad about what's going on here on YouTube and how we're allowing one person, it's called dis-ease, to infiltrate everybody. This is supposed to be a way that we as a people can become entrepreneurs. We all should be here doing what we do, getting support from our supporters, and making money. Not at the expense of another individual, but because you put in the work. You did whatever it took to bring whatever you bring to the public. Instead, we're all now feel like we're under threat and duress. We don't know who's going to be next on the community board because the stuff that I'm seeing is so disheartening. I just don't see how people can look at that shit and pass it by and don't want to say or do nothing. And the only thing that I hear is everybody want to keep talking about a boosty bus. Everybody keep wanting to talk about one man. Well, you know, that's kind of what they do when you have the status that you have. That's kind of what you want to happen, everybody to talk about one man. See, if we only understood that the war is not won on the battlefield, it's won in the war room, everything those people are doing is strategy, and it's military tactics. And the lady, Queen Regina, she says she was in the military. I don't know if she was or not, but the game she's playing is definitely military tactics. My brother was a Purple Heart recipient. A Purple Heart. Died at the age of 23. A marksman at the age of 23. And that was over 50 years ago. My brother, my second oldest brother. One of the favorite men in my life, I call him my full metal jacket, is my cousin. And he was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. His nephew was in the Navy. His brother was in the Air Force. My oldest brother was in the Air Force. So I know about military tactics. My oldest brother was one of the most brilliant minds that ever lived. But he used to tell us shit about different things. Oh, Abby, hey, salute, 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 y'all. Salute, salute, salute. Let me put some respect on this. Salute Stone. I want y'all to understand. See, everybody keeps saying that this lady is crazy. This lady ain't crazy. Salute Mindy. She know exactly what she's doing. And what's so sad is our men. They say that they're men. They say that they're alpha. But they keep playing her game. And they talk too much about what they're going to do. If you're not quoting the law, what the law requires, then you shouldn't be telling nobody what you're going to do. See, remember, they taught us God was omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. But they said the devil only know what you're going to do when you tell him, when you open your mouth. Now, I don't think neither one of those exist anymore, but hey, you can have it your way because we all free to believe what we want. And I don't knock nobody for what they believe because I, too, used to believe like most. And that could be why I lost a lot of people because of the way my belief system is today. But see, I know some shit today. Children believe. Adults know. And we need to know the enemy that we're fighting. What that man represents is not what we thought. He came as an enemy. Not with the intent that we thought. And see, because we're such hurting people and we're such childlike people, and since we looking for a savior, oh, and Jesus ain't coming back quick enough, so we just find one in somebody's son or their daughter, whoever is in office or whoever is in a position, then we want to follow somebody. And then when he came talking this good game about the children, and yeah, he was talking about his friends, but it was funny. And we were laughing. It was real funny. But let's keep it real. Now all he talk about is politics. And then at what point did he become a politician? And I don't even listen to him, but I do go like they do me. I'm in the bushes just like everybody else. I want to hear what's going on. Because your enemy is always going to tell you. You have to ask them shit. As a people, we're so high-minded. We think we're doing some big shit, but really we just letting people know how to attack us. But see, I understand strategy. And it ain't because I worked for no government. It's because I had a mom and a daddy, and my daddy damn sure was that nigga that he taught us about. And he gave us a lot of wisdom. And that's why I say that he say, rarely do you catch a nigga complaining when it's in his favor. Your enemy ain't going to teach you how to defeat him. Not the European, but the nigga will every time. Because they can't keep it to themselves. They got to tell somebody, baby, they got you. Baby, they going to do this. Baby, it's going to be like that. Baby, and when I get through with them, oh, baby. And before you know it, their ass is going to be done disappeared. And you're going to wonder, what happened? What happened? I thought they was going to do this, and I thought they was going to do that, and I thought, and now the story done flipped, and now we got to come up with a new goddamn story. Now we got to make up some new shit. And you trying to figure out, but damn, what happened to that first story you told? See, because I know the first story. I listen very well, and y'all may not know this, but I take a whole lot of notes. I write shit down. It's a MUST must, because as I said before, and hear me when I say this, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. We live in the law of contracts. So everything has to be documented. That's why they have us sign everything. And they're getting away from paper and they're going to digital. It's a dilemma that we're in as a people. And we should be coming together as an army of one, teaching our families as much as we can. I've asked every show for people to send for the book and the dictionary. Even if you don't want it for yourself, get it for one of your babies or your grandbabies or somebody's child you know that might like to read or something. But I don't get many requests, and that's okay. I can't be afraid of Queen Regina and the other Kwame Brown And Mr. Fair Use, I never seen him. I never heard of him. He's never done anything to me. But the word on the street is he's the one who's doing all the doxing and stuff. I don't know that to be true. I have nothing to do with these people. I only gave an opinion once on how I felt about what happened between Kwame and Mr. Skinny. And on YouTube, you're not allowed to give an opinion without being attacked. It's a lot of finger pointing, and they say, and he say, and she say, and we say, but I'm not a member of a gang, as I stated before. And any goddamn body believes saying gang is a gang member, then they crazy as hell, in my opinion. They could be, with the highest of IQs, but I would have to say they have a deficit in their head. I would have to say that. We don't have quiet meetings and silent meetings or public meetings. We don't get on here and discuss who we're going to attack next and how we're going to attack them by any means necessary. We don't do that because we do have a real enemy. They say we the people. We can't even say we the people. And again, I had to remind them that we the people is, the preamble to the U.S. Constitution. And then what's so even bad about that, we the people garden belongs to the USDA. It's really a real garden. The difference is an S, so maybe that's the difference. But we the people garden and we the people's flag is really a United States flag. You can Google it. It's real. So I don't know who's the organization and who's the gang. I don't know, and I really don't care. I know I'm not a part of any of that association. For 63 years, I lived my life gang-free and crime-free. For 63 years. I would like to do that at least for another 41 years. My grandmother died at 104 years old. I would love to die at 104 years old in my right mind with the ability to mope around like I do. Hopefully I'll lose a pound or two, but probably I won't. And that's okay. As long as I can live with me, I'm all right. I go to bed with a clear conscience. I've enjoyed all of the people that I've met. We've had good, fun laughs together because Mr. Skinny is crazy as hell. And he is so damn funny, it's not even funny on some shit. And everybody just feels so, the air, we all in separate places, but we all just feel the camaraderie. And it used to be like that when we all were together. Gone are the days. But what's going on right now, we need to stop this. And I'm not talking about blatantly attacking one person. I'm talking about the quote, all that is required for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And good men, mankind, goes for man and womb man. For us both. There are some actions we can take, and I ain't talking about flagging nobody because I don't know nothing about all of that. I'm talking about exercising a professional right. Google has to have, YouTube has to have a corporate office that somebody can investigate us all. And let's see who's doing what. Because they said they involved the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. But maybe we need to engage the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Because we're all from all different states, cities. Some of us will never, ever, ever, ever see each other. I would say the majority of us. And some of us will. They say they involve the gang unit in Atlanta. And we know that they're working very hard in Atlanta to lock up every rapper using his lyrics, his social media posts, and his pictures. It's just a matter of a phone call for it could be one of us. I have nothing to hide. I believe that someone has been poking on my social media. I have a Facebook page that I don't do anything on but say hello to people. But I've gotten more notices that somebody has tried to sign into my account on a Samsung phone. Yeah, I don't own a Samsung. That ain't gonna work. And you could say, well, now see, now you telling the enemy. Trust me, like I said, I know military tactics too. LinkedIn, I've been retired for 12 years. And I may have had 11 people look at my LinkedIn, maybe a little bit more than 11. But in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've had 21 people to look at my LinkedIn profile. Sad, but true. Anonymous Wish said there is generosity in truth, and we become drunk with possibility. The disappointment sets in when you realize that they have failed to appropriately use their abundance. That's when we become divided. Boy, that girl is bad. I love it. And I agree wholeheartedly. Wilma, what did you say? Because Monique say, for real, Wilma, I'm sick of all these fake lying people. YouTube, I love realness. Me too. I mean, for real though, I just don't get it. I really wished that I could comprehend the craziness, the degree of craziness. I thought I had it maybe when I said, well, maybe it's because these people are not used to, being around a professional athlete, and I know that that's true of most. And so I can understand the infatuation, the vicarious thoughts of living. I can understand that, but you would have to go back to even do that because Kwame hasn't played ball in, I don't know, what, about 11, 12 years or so, something like that. And I'm not speaking nothing about how he played or nothing because I'm not a sports fan. So I don't have no opinion on that. I hear what people say, and that's good. But when I first saw Kwame, I was very, very, very excited. If you go look at my very first YouTube video, you will see that he really did help inspire me to come on and get out here. I just saw Ass came in the room. Salute, Ass. He said, long story short, you got me to realize that I need to clear my name either way. That's true, Ass. And like I told you when you were here, I stand with you 100%. See, number one, I think that there is a problem with people understanding. And I heard this person talk about who you're supposed to be and how we are definitely a gang. And I don't know how these people define this shit, but if it's not defined by the code, then I don't give a damn how they defined it. But as what I do know is true. And hear me when I say this, and hear me good. See, when people are going through stuff, nobody seems to feel what you feel, and they don't know what you know. And they can tell you all day, oh, it's going to be all right. But if it's not them, and if it's not their livelihood online, and if it's not their family being attacked, then they really don't give a damn. Now, they ain't going to say, I don't give a damn. Their actions show you. Because a lot of us don't understand that racism, number one, but I'm going to tell you the system that's in place knows. People that look like me, Asiatic Americans, we cannot be racist. People that look like you, Asatar, cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced, but we can't be racist. And people will argue that point until they die. But here is the fact of the matter. I don't give a damn what I do and who I get mad at. I don't have the ability to stop them from working, from eating, from buying a home, from getting medical help, from having a bank account. I can't stop any of those areas of their lives. But one European in power can stop me from doing all of that. Racist is a system, it's not a human being. And there are laws written into laws that keep us Asiatics out. So that's just the way it is in real life. You can be prejudiced, and then if they throw that word racist out there, then that's just people taking it and running. But you definitely need to clear your name, because in law, if you're accused of something and you do not rebut it, it's called tacit acquiescence. And tacit acquiescence means that you agree and it becomes true. So you must. And like I told you, I stand with you. I don't give a damn. We all are one in this chat. We don't know what nobody is in this chat. We don't know nobody's personal preference. We don't know shit. But that we all came together. And we all had fun. And one day, it was destroyed. And then we had to start choosing sides. And for those of us who chose not to choose a side, we were told we had to choose a side or don't come to this side. Brown skinned lady, I love you, girl. What they did to you is a goddamn shame. But like I said, and I'm going to just tell anybody, the affidavit is the most powerful tool in the United States. Any one of you can write an affidavit and file it with your county clerk, whoever keep the deed of records, and wherever you live, that's the person that you filed it with, because some of you may not have counties, you may have parishes. I don't know what you may have. But you're filing on your own behalf, just like you would go and record a will or a deed. You're putting it on record so that when this shit comes, you can already let your job have a copy of that document so they can know that it's coming. It's more than one way to skin a cat. They're playing games. And we do have to remember, he may not have learned too well, but Kwame was media trained. So he knows the words to say to grab the heart of the people who are innocently, blindly following him, thinking that he has a great message and he's putting in the work. What work? I don't know. Who's concerned? I don't know. Because everybody, again, has to account for themselves. We're all going to have to confess our own. Every man, every woman, every child, boy or girl. And that's the truth. Whether you believe the truth, I ain't got nothing to do with that, because guess what? I didn't name the truth. My daddy taught us the truth. The only thing wrong with it, people don't want to tell it. And right, the only thing wrong with it, people don't want to do it. See, when you stand in integrity and in honor and in truth, that means you're willing to take responsibility for your actions. And if you wrong somebody, the only thing you can do to that person is ask them to forgive you in earnest and don't do it again. That's all you can do. Nobody gonna whoop your ass. Nobody gonna kill you, hopefully. But the way this shit is going, you don't know what's going to happen. And it's not nobody's fight, but two people. Two people. But everybody is getting entangled and making up shit on people and trying to destroy families. For what? Don't nobody even know why they feel that way. They can't give you a definitive reason why they beating down brown-skinned lady. Why Kwame keeps dropping my name in the middle of bullshit every now and then say, I'm dropping the link for anybody who want to take it. Well, he's listening. Why don't he just come in the chat like he do everybody else and say, I'll be more than happy to come up and speak with you, Toothless Tiger. And Sis, I love Sis. He's a great guy. But he's just being used. He's the Mr. Skinny of the day because he's very intelligent. And he's making those beautiful, stupid ass videos. They beautiful, stupid. Because it's not his fight. But he's very intelligent. And I hate to see him use all that knowledge. We had a beautiful conversation over on A-Rod's page. So I know he got the knowledge to help uplift our people. Nobody probably would listen to him, but our goddamn show can tell you he's got some knowledge. And I hate that he's not using it for good. Another quote says, evil prospers when good men do nothing. I got to keep reminding us of that. I'm going to put J Entertainment up here. Yeah, that's true about calling people bitches. That's true, Jay Watson. But it's going further than calling people bitches. Probably you need to look at the stalking laws for whatever state you're in. Because I ain't talking about no calling people's bitches. And see, one thing about the government, it doesn't have to be true. They want bodies. So a lie work just as good. Matter of fact, it'll be better. Because they don't lose. 95% of their cases end in conviction. 95%. No, so it's not about that. It's about this social media. It's about putting out shit on. See, doxing is not illegal within itself. And I looked up the state of Georgia, brown skinned lady. I looked up the state of North Carolina. And of course, I looked up my state because I always, like I said, have to protect myself at all costs. But it's the actions of the doxing that somebody can take upon themselves that cause the crime. Like the stalking laws in Georgia are very strict. And on the telephone, on the computer, in the mail, in the email. Like, see, I don't have anything to do with Kwame or Queen Regina or any of them. But they keep sending me emails. What's the purpose of that? Well, one time she said, if Mr. Skinny tell me something, would you please get the information and send it to me? I don't respond to that. Because I don't have anything to do with any of this. But when you start talking about we all gang members, and we're an organized group, trust me, y'all can keep that shit funny and it don't mean nothing, and any FBI person that investigate that is crazy and need to be fired, but don't you be the next one to get locked up. Because it don't take much. You need to go and take that little phone if you got it in your hand, and if you don't, hit the plus sign up there on your goddamn computer and put in RICO. And we know we not doing no motherfucking racketeering. But again, like I said, truth don't have no place in these kind of things. It's not about truth. It's not about honor. It's not about integrity. All of this stuff that's going on is about control. And ain't that why we really have a problem with the European? Because they control everything and we control nothing. And then they say, buy land, buy land, buy. You still don't own the land. You better read the deed. Franklin D. Roosevelt did that. If it's not an allodial title, You don't own it. You have a certificate of title, and you're named as a tenant of the land. It's the same as sharecropping. You see, nothing has changed for us. And when we talk about Juneteenth, I heard Dr. Umar say today that Juneteenth, the problem wasn't that the people didn't know that they were free for 2 years. It's that they didn't let the people be free for 2 years. And when the Asiatic soldiers came and said, you're going to release these people, that's when June 19th became important. And if you don't study to show yourself approved, workman rightly dividing the word of truth, then you're not going to know this shit. And then when somebody tell you, you're going to think they just talking out the side of their neck and they crazy and they don't know what they talking about. I love it when you guys communicate and in the chat. As say, because I don't have powers over anyone, I'm an even smaller monetary than black people. Oh, minority. Y'all see how I fucked up that? He said minority, Lord, I said monetary. But, hold on, y'all. I'm like Mrs. Skinny. Now somebody should have gave me a damn cash app just for fucking up that word minority, talking about monetary. But I'm all right. Let me see. Phyllis, I remember it was once said, loose lips sink ships. We need to come from the common good of all. Yeah, it would be nice, but you know, when you got people who want to really control something, that control mechanism is what's really driving these people. And it's I'm going to show you type of attitude. You're going to do what I say do. Or else. And the or else was scary. The or else. That's what's scary. Racism is a technology of oppression, and I think it's important to understand that it is power plus privilege, for skin, gender, nationality, and inheritance determine status, as do literacies. Black equals worse, and black equals civilly dead. In the eyes of the law, you're dead. There is no law. See, that happened with Dred Scott, and many of us don't know anything about Dred Scott, but Dred Scott was a young man who belonged to his master and his wife, and they were moving to a free state. And when they got to the free state, the master died. And the master's wife sold Dred to her brother. And even though Missouri was supposed to be a free state, he was sold as a slave. So he went to court to fight for his right. And he made it all the way to the Supreme Court. And when he got to the Supreme Court, most of the justices, they decided not to make a decision. So they did what they call a dissent. They didn't want to make a decision. So the Chief Justice, Roger Taney, said to Dred Scott, number one, you're not supposed to be here because you're a Negro. So you're not allowed to be in court. And then he said, secondly, a black man has no right that a white man is bound to respect. So he lost his case. He lost his case because that case has never been overturned. And I don't know if you've ever had any dealings with the law, but all cases are done by precedents. That's former case law and the decisions that were made. That's going to determine if you win a case or if you lose a case based on whoever has the best lawyer and they get the most recent case law. But that case is the most important case to every Asiatic in the United States because that case has never been overturned. Then there's the last case that Abraham Lincoln tried before he was appointed president was the William Dungy case. And in that case, William Dungy was fighting because they called him a Negro. And as Anonymous just told about status, Negro is a status. It's a legal status, and it means you have no human rights. And you couldn't own land. So he was not having it. And he hired Abraham Lincoln to be his attorney. And he fought for him. And he won because he told them he was a Moor. Bloodline. We're talking bloodline. And damn near every person, damn near, some are indigenous to this North American. This is called North American, the Maghreb, the furthest west. Canada is at the top of North America. These 50 countries, Mexico, then we go to Central and we connect South America, Brazil, El Salvador, those places, the islands. All of us are the same people. We don't want to believe that because they tell us different. But we got to start looking into something different than what we've been hoping and believing on because nothing is working. We have churches all over our neighborhoods. The faith-based initiative is considered the new FBI because all they do is go back and report on what's going on in the neighborhoods, take our money, and they're worse than the bank. If your lights get cut off and you go to the very church that you're giving to and ask them to pay your light bill, they'll tell you they're not the bank and won't even help you. People, we have a problem. And we're so steeped in a tradition that doesn't belong to us. And you know, we really have the snake wrong too, Mindy. They made the snake bad because it references us and healing. We got to start studying so we can really understand. See, I promise y'all, when they hear us say certain things, they know they got us because they know we don't know shit. They know we don't know nothing. M. Max saying threatening to jeopardize people's job careers while they sitting in the house dancing and yard playing in dirt. Ain't that sad? Let me put that up there because that show is sad. But the saddest part about it all is what are we threatening these people for? What have they done to you? And that's true, brown-skinned lady. He wants views. But I tell you, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We got to start holding people accountable. And we don't have to call them names and mistreat them. As I was with you this morning, and I don't think you were wrong in your opinion. I thought we was just all supposed to just be saying something. Hey, Tracy J. Salute. Glad you're here. Kelly, Kane B. Glad you're here. Sebastian, did I ever acknowledge you? Glad you're here. Baca, glad you're here. That's right. Tell them again. This is Morocco. You're right, Tracy J. Yeah, this is Morocco. But you have to understand, this is a landmass as well as the kingdom, the empire of Morocco. You know, that's why when they be telling us to go back to Africa, go back to Africa. You know, see, I'm gonna tell y'all, they got the maps flipped upside down. But if you look at the maps and put them together, when we came over here, it wasn't, the Atlantic Ocean didn't exist. That's how long we as a people have been here. We are the people. The ones they call the Indians. We are the original people, the organic people to the land. We are the people. Farthest west, the keepers of the North Gate. It's the farthest northwest. That's us here. But if you flip it over, then the west becomes the east. It's deep. It's deep. And I don't profess to know it all. I just know the little that I've learned. And I'm just not afraid to share it. Now, I might need to be afraid to share it, because one thing they don't want us to do is to come together as a people and be organized in unison and in unity. And I'm not talking about to commit any crimes. I'm talking about to live better, to be better people. Brown skin lady, let me put this up. I didn't see this. Thank you, everyone, for the love and support. That is a broken man who refuses to take accountability for his failures. Most importantly, his failures as a father. He is the perpetual victim. Brown skin lady, and if you want to come up, I'll be more than happy to send you the link if you want to come up and speak. But what they're doing to you is totally unacceptable. I saw that post on the community post for Brown Skin Lady and Southern Gotti. And like I said, we cannot just keep pretending that what these people are doing is just fun and games and jokes, because it's not just fun and games and jokes. And today it's them. Tomorrow, probably tonight, it could be one of us. I don't put it past them. I do my best to stay in my lane and to talk about what I came here for. But again, evil prospers when good men do nothing. And I know that there are some people, they say they come from areas of the internet where those people do all kind of stuff and they go real deep and all like that. And I can believe that. I really can. And then maybe it's over nothing. Maybe it's over nothing. But if they're going to court and winning and losing in court, then I can guarantee you it's not over nothing. Something transpired that was against the law. And the law is what they use on us every day. So the law can be your friend. The law can be your enemy. You choose which one it is. Thank you, Mindy. I don't know a whole lot. I just, kind of want to share what I did learn and how I learned it. And so, I can get a damn story wrong, like I say. So I appreciate you, Mindy. But I look at Taj Tariq Bey, really, that's the one who taught me about they stole our birthright. And the one that taught us about unalienable rights. Some people call it alienable rights. They're the same thing. And that's the right to be human. And they got this new guy in there. He can say some shit that'll take you to another dimension. So you got to be ready for him. And some of the shit, I don't know if it's real or not, but because I know that we were not taught about metaphysics and our energy body and the electrical body that we have, we were not taught that. I can't deny that what he's saying is true. And I can't say it's true or false. So I live in the thing that is true. I just don't know it. Because there's so much that they didn't teach us, and there's so much that they left out of us knowing, till I don't, unless I just can't find nothing to go along with what the person is saying. That's the only time that I would let go of what they're saying. Because one thing I love about these people, they teach you to research for yourself. Because any knowledge you have, you can't say what Toothless said or what Cheryl said. You got to know it in your knower for yourself. Oh, Chase say he's still here. I'm glad too. Yeah, you got to know it for yourself. You really do. So, it's so much. And Nova Drew Ali said that, the half has not been told. If I tell you too much, it'll put you back to sleep. Oh, Flip, you so sweet. I love the beginning of this. I didn't see this. That's because Toothless Tiger has a heart of gold, and she comes off as honest and clear. And she shoots straight from the hip. That's true. And when you're like that, people feel calm and welcome. Asatar. I'm so glad that you guys feel like that. Y'all put me in tears. It don't take much for me to go in tears. Because, a lot of people, they don't really, really know how to be honest. A lot of people really don't know how. Because it wasn't a requirement for them. They talk a good, honest game. And that's all it is a good, honest game. But they don't live in the integrity in which they speak. I just listen to them say that they want to protect the women. All the while, every woman that they talk about over here is bitches and hoes. Over here, meaning with Mr. Skinny, because that's the way they have us divided. Over there with Kwame and over here with Skinny. And then you got these other people that have just put themselves in the middle of the situation. And it's all to build their channel. And that's good. That's beautiful. And I hope their channel grow, astronomically. I do. But, when you build it on the kind of stuff that's going on now, on beef and on dissension, how far can it really grow? Because at some point, something is going to happen to bring all of this stuff to a screeching halt. Something is going to happen. And Asatar said, if y'all heard me on Skinny Live, I explained that if I am in your live and you say something I disagree with, I'm going to respectfully let you know my disagreement. If going to someone live mean I have to 100%. Yeah, we heard you say that. So he says, if going to someone live mean I have to agree with them 100%, I'd rather not even go. If I'm complaining about being doxxed, then why would I then be in a room cheering on a content creator doing it to someone else? Well, the only reason that you could be there is to learn. To learn. Because I didn't know that they had corrected the years, but I was thinking if, You're saying 13 and then now you're saying 17, but I didn't know that he had corrected himself. But yeah, I don't like that for anybody. I'm talking nobody. And some of these people are bragging on how good they are and how well they do it. And that may be fine. But if it hurt me for you to do me like that, then it has to hurt you if I did you like that. I just have to believe that. And then sometimes you just can't voice anything. That's what I was saying earlier. You go in these chats and sometimes you want to just say something. You think you're just being a part of the group and you say something and shit, you get attacked like you the enemy. And you like, damn, what did I do? I thought we was all just having conversation. That is disheartening, but that's the way this game is played for some reason, all of a sudden. But again, if everybody is agreeing, then of course there is no, you know, discourse. And if somebody disagree, you don't even have to speak on it, to be honest. I don't know why people feel compelled to speak on somebody's disagreement. They just disagree. Okay. And we not like we talking to one another, so you don't have to say nothing. Just let them disagree and let it scroll on up the scrolling trail, but it doesn't seem to happen like that. Asatar say he follows the Lord, not people. Just like I explained to Skinny. If I'm in your life, ABS, you do something I don't agree with, I'ma let it be known. No, that doesn't mean I'ma stop supporting you. It's simple. Means that I don't agree. Anonymous has a quote for us. Hold on, Anonymous. Here's a quote from the oldest black newspaper in the U.S. Freedom's Journal, June 19th, 1827. The public have been informed that the Africans in New York intend to celebrate the day of their emancipation. The only thing about the emancipation is we were just transferred from one owner to another owner, and the new owner was the U.S. government. We've never been free. Start looking up the Freedmen's Bureau and see how they did that. And then look at the $5 Indians and the Trail of Tears. Original man, salute. Salute, salute, salute. I like that. That's cute, those hearts. It's my tiger. Salute. Yeah, look up the Trail of Tears. See, we're the same people that they call the Indians. I don't know if any of you guys ever looked at Dane Calloway, but I promise you, Dane Calloway is very, very, very good. Some of the things I like Asatar don't agree with Dane on, but much of the stuff that he say I do. The history of Juneteenth on Jubilee goes back much further than 1865. Yeah, most certainly it does, because we got to first go back with 1861 when, Congress adjourned sine die. And therefore, that's when the government dissolved. And it was a state-to-state celebration. State to state mean country to country because each state is its own country. Just providing that context, most don't even know where to start research. Well, if they would go and look at any of my older videos and look in my description, I give you exactly where to start researching. And one you can start with is the Christian Black Codes, because we're still living under them right now today. Those are most of your municipal laws, are the Christian Black Codes, starting with the ones of 1724. That's fantastic. I agree. Anything you do, Anonymous, you know I love it. So don't ever think that you're being scolded when I say something, but you know I'm just going to say some shit. But please, by all means, your well of knowledge is invaluable to me. And so if it's invaluable to me, I know that our people can gain from it because you have a way of saying things that are just eloquent and very charismatic. And I appreciate you sharing your knowledge. And that is so true. And that's the same with me. And that's what I say. I'm not the answer. I just know what I've learned through my studies and how I got there. But I promise you, if we all start studying, we're going to get an understanding. And then we start talking to each other and we're going to see we understand the same thing. Some things we may even differ on. But I think when we talk it out, or if we just seek the knowledge, because see, we have records that's downloaded in our cells. Our cells have memory. We don't even know that part of our body. We don't know that we can recall things way back further than we think we can. We don't have a clue because we were not taught. So we're limited by what we know. That's what we're limited by. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. Oh, that's cold blooded. Great news. You're so very welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so happy I met you. And we met on John Crime's show. And that was the second guy that allowed me to be on his platform. And John is phenomenal. And he does music as well. But he was going through some pain right now. So I hope all is well. I got to check back in with him and see how he's doing. So lift up a few prayers for John Crimes and his family and his friends. Um, he's just a beautiful guy on YouTube that I met that gave me an opportunity to be on his, panel. And one of the great things is when we're new and we're coming out and we're trying to be known, to meet great people, and Kwame was one of those people. I would never take that from him, allowing us to come on his platform. You get what you get and you move on. And that's what happened in my case. Things didn't turn out quite like he said they would, that he would come on my show. That didn't happen. And then we got people angry because he didn't keep his word, saying I'm jealous and angry. Never that. I really respect people and who they are and what they show me. He loved to quote Maya Angelou, and I call him Maya Angelou, by saying that Maya Angelou said that when a person show you who they are, believe it. He quotes that, but he doesn't really live that because he showed me who he was. And I respect who he is. It is not my job to come on here and to destroy his name. He's doing a very good job of that himself. I don't choose to do that. I still have a semblance of respect for him as a human, and I think he's a little boy that's hurting. And I think everybody's laughing and making fun, but he's really hurting and really disintegrating right before our eyes. But he said he doesn't listen to anybody and can't nobody tell him anything, so I don't know how he can be helped. But I wish no harm and no bad to that young man. I wish that he would do like he say and look at the behavior of the people around him. And I think before he finds himself in some serious legal trouble, he should publicly denounce the behavior of these people doing all of these things to other people. And then he should publicly apologize for his behavior. Now, he doesn't have to do any of that. No, he does not. I just think that it would work better for him if he did. And then move on. Everybody say they don't want the beef. But I know that's a lie. Because everybody that say they don't want the beef, they bring up a new damn subject the next day that causes beef. It's painful to watch. As much as we get mistreated as a people, we can't get jobs. A lot of people have college debt that is so high, they'll never be able to own a home and a new vehicle at the same time. Don't even know if they can have children because they don't know if they can afford it. And it's so sad that we spend much of our time asking that famous question, where's the beef? And chasing the beef. Everybody don't have to be on here trying to save the world or educate the people. No, everybody don't have to be on here doing that. But we all should be offering something that will uplift another human being. And I've seen pretty much all of the YouTubers that I've watched do that. I've seen them tell news stories. I've seen them do reaction stories. I've seen them do a lot of different things. And hopefully we'll see more of that. Hopefully we'll see more of that and less of people doxing people and trying to find out where they work and trying to destroy their families and their livelihoods. What has happened to Sooth and Gotti is very disheartening to me. And again, I hope that everybody will think about themselves and think about it could be you next and protect yourself. And I'm sure because I spoke out, it could be me. I don't want it to be. I don't. But we can't be silenced by a few bullies. I grew up and went to school with bullies. I'd be goddamn at 63 if I'm going to be bullied for no reason. That can't happen. Okay, Sim said that's what it is. The beef economy. That's how they eat, by causing beef. It just seems like the beef could be some other way. Not destroying people's lives off YouTube. If I could get 12 likes, 12 likes. If I can't get 12, if I could get 6, I'd greatly appreciate it. I really hope that I said something that will help somebody understand how serious this situation really is. And maybe you could just look up the laws in your state, because we're all over the United States here, and just see what the stalking laws are. Because again, we don't know. At any given day, it could be one of us. Gotti doesn't even have a page. Well, she has a page, but her page only has intros and outros. So if you are a content creator and you need an intro or outro, I suggest Gotti is the person to go to. Aquamore. She's good. She did mine. Matt K is excellent for graphics. Matt K did my logo. You know, it's so much we can do to help each other instead of tear each other down. We all say we love each other as a people, not necessarily individually, but as a people, we say we love our people, but we don't show no love. We're showing destruction, and it's painful. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate you. I do my best. Everybody don't, Tracy. They don't want to be saved. And so that's what we have to realize. Everybody ain't going to come with us. And saved from what, I don't know. I try to just want you to know how to make it through, navigate through these waters with this system, because we got a real enemy. A real enemy. And anybody who want the book and the dictionary, please send me an email. I'll be more than happy to send you Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars and the 4th edition of the Black's Law Dictionary. I also want to remind you guys that I do have merchandise. I do have journals. If anybody wants to start journaling on their journey, I have coffee cups. I have t-shirts, ink pens, keychains, personal candles. If you're interested in any of that, send me an email. Soup and Gotti was on, the young man name is Moxie Approved tonight. And so if you guys may want to go and check out that interview, I don't know if they're still on there. They were supposed to start at 7, the same time I started. So you can go check that out and see, because she was on that page. And he's one gentleman that sounds like that he has his head on tight, and he, I don't know what role he's playing in this other than allowing her the platform and being a support for her from a man's perspective, which is what we need, since every man want to protect the woman. I think we should be protecting the matriarchal system, not necessarily saying the strong black woman, because I think that that's just as stupid as Black Lives Matter, when lives black are dead in the eyes of the law and nobody respect our lives as Asiatic individuals, not even us. I don't beat us up because we don't respect our lives or each other. And I don't beat us up because we were taught to be this way by a system, not by our moms and dads, not by our friends and grandparents. It's a system, and it's silent. We're fighting against chemical warfare. Chemical warfare. We're fighting against it in medicine. We have so much that we have to deal with as humans. We're fighting against a system that they don't want us together as a family. So they pit us against one another, our men and our women. And a lot of women think that they're so strong they don't need a man, and don't even know how to communicate with the man. And the man is so tired of the fake woman, he can't honor her as the giver of life. It's really a sad situation. But if we learn that it's a system in place that's making it like that, then we can learn how to overcome the system. We got to put in the work. We got to be willing to do it for ourselves and for our offsprings, because we know that the children are our future. But at the given situation that we have right here today, what does the future look like for our children? On that note, I'm going to get ready to close it out. I want to thank everybody for coming and spending time with me. Sometimes I just feel like not even coming, because I don't know if anybody's going to join me or not. There's so many people going live when I go live now. It's a little disheartening, but this is YouTube and we're all here to do our thing. So I don't have an issue with that. I just take note. And they tell me that the greatest form of flattery is for someone to imitate you. Someone to say that they love you or like you and then compete against you. See, I'm so goddamn cold. I am that I am, and I only compete with me. I don't compete with nobody else. We all have talent, and we're all good in our own right. I hope that's how everybody feel. That's how I feel. And I done seen some beautiful people in this world. I done seen some people that can do some shit I can't even imagine. But I ain't met not one motherfucker living or dead that's better than me, to me. And so I don't compete against others. I really don't. I don't have no reason to. I just try to be a better me today than I was yesterday. And so sometimes I get a little discouraged. But I'm going to keep coming back because I said if it was only me out here, I'd talk to my goddamn self. I would do that. But I don't have to do that because you guys are here and I greatly appreciate you. Nurse Petty, it's good to see you. I know that you work very hard. Thank you, M. Mac and my Milwaukee Jeff. Sim said, thank you. I want to tell everybody that I am truly grateful. And I'll be back Tuesday with Give Them Something to Talk About once again. Salute, Unwanted Smoke. Thank you for joining me. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Thank you, my nephew. I love you, Longhead. I'm not going nowhere because I know you're going to be here. And you all have been very good to me. I could not have imagined meeting such beautiful people and supportive people. I really could have never imagined this in my wildest dream. And I don't know if any of you had an opportunity to sit in on the interview I had with my son, or if not, see the playback. But that was a beautiful show last Tuesday night. And we're going to bring him back again soon, real soon. We have some things brewing that we're going to do. And I think you guys are going to like it. Like I said, we bounce off each other. He's my counterbalance. I'm a dramatic Scorpio that's crazy all out of my mind. And he's a Ram, Aries, who's calm, collected. Let me put some respect. Thank you, my Chase. Always. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, he's my counterbalance. We feed off each other. He's truly my son. And so we're going to bring him back. And I have some people lined up. I have an attorney coming who deals with probate and wills and estates. And that's the kind of stuff we need to learn. If you want to know what type of books to get, start looking at trust law, estate law, and probate law. And I know that might sound like, what the hell am I looking for all that for? Because that's what they're ruling over us. We're the heirs to the world's largest estate. We really are. Unfortunately, because we're under occupation, we are backing the estate as opposed to getting the benefits of the estate. But as I stated earlier, the systems are crumbling that we used to know. And they're crumbling right before our eyes. And we want to be prepared to take our rightful place. Because the arms, the guards, they're changing. The guards are changing, y'all. And we are the people that have ran this country forever. So it's not like we can't do it again. It's not by might that we're going to do it. It's by our intellect. And there's some intelligent people here. So many people with so many talents. So many people with so many talents. Even though y'all don't have channels, just the beats, the graphics, all of the things that we can do, man, it's awesome. And I say salute to all of you all. Happy Father's Day again to all of the fathers. Mothers, we can never be fathers, but for those of us who actually had to do it without the dad in the home, we had our uncles, our brothers, our fathers, our cousins. I say happy Father's Day to you as well. Because no, we can't be a man, but we created a man. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. So on that note, I am going to get ready. Let me see. I don't want to miss nothing nobody says before I go. Anonymous said something. Let me see what she said. Much appreciation to you, Tiger, Toothless Tiger, and the chat letting me take up space. Always, always. Happy Daddy Day to allow to all who observe those living and gone home. Yes, Anonymous. And my dad is gone home too. And I know is this your first one? And how are you doing? You doing okay? This is your second. How you doing? Are you doing okay? I love you and I remember. And just know I'm sending positive vibrations your way. Positive. You're so welcome. So true. Yeah, we're doing more than reparations. We do our estates. That's why we have to learn those laws. We need to learn those laws. We need to read, y'all, and we need to take notes, and we need to talk with one another. What I suggested the other day was that you start with your little group of friends or brothers, whoever you're close to, two or three of you guys, and just start challenging each other. Give them something to look up. Let's say the Sister QV Trust. Have one look up that. Have one to look up Unum Sanctum. Have one to look up the Secret Treaty of Verona. Now, I know that shit sound crazy, but have them to look it up. And then everybody give each other, 2 weeks because people have jobs and things to do. And then make a date to come together like you would if you was going to play cards or have a fish fry or whatever you're going to do. And then with the ones that you really, the ones you kick it with, your Ace Coon Booms, not just anybody. Do it with somebody that you all will have fun doing this together. And then come together in that manner. And then start teaching the children in the home. I promise you, we can do it because we used to be a unit. And it's going to be one video that I'm going to recommend of Sid's. I love it. It's his first video. And it's called They Study Us. It's something about how they learn a Negro. But you need to see that little 20-minute clip that he did. It's fantastic because they're showing you how they study us and how we spend money and how they start catering to us where we used to be into the quality of things. Now they just give us the brand names and we don't get the quality, but we pay the highest prices. It's a very, very good video. I suggest anybody go take a look at it. Again, I thank everybody for being here. I'm getting ready. Let me see. What did I hear? Yes, it was my second. Okay. Very, very hard. Oh, that's good. I'm with you. Remember that. I'm with you. And on that note, everyone, thank you so much. And I am leaving the tiger's den.
This video was made for education and entertainment purposes only. There's no malice or ill intent from the content creator. So please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great evening. Good night.